sometimes a good job works with people, get information, people because it's scared. A whole lot of people, it's not being harsh, which is what they really use. Yeah, that's a way to extract information too, but in the end, these two times you're like, there, I got through. These two things, I should have talked about it. I wasn't part of it. I wasn't part of the plan. That's what you said.
Oh, no problem. I'll call you back and let you know what's going on.
Just
All right, thanks.
Jerry Ortiz says he's playing with and you said, hey, give me some. But that in the storage. Last minute.
All right, court is gonna call 2022 CR 4932B, State of Texas versus Oscar Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state
Daniel Escobar for the state and Hank Wilkins for the state of Texas.
defense?
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Martinez.
And are you, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
Are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
State, do you want to place your witness on the stand?
Yes, Judge.
And defense, do you have any objection to the witness already being on the stand?
Not at all.
No objection.
So, yeah, I'm so used to just responding to defense.
All right.
I won't do that when I'm up there.
All right, no problem. And Ms. Kramer, if you'll go ahead and take your seat.
Thank you.
And if you want to move your seat closer to the stand, you're more than welcome to do so.
Thank you, Jen.
Ready?
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
The state calls Jerry Ortiz.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up for members of the jury and for the court reporter. Ladies and gentlemen, the person to the left is Suzanne Kramer. She is the witness's attorney. State, you may proceed.
Jerry, how old are you?
19,
Back in February of 2022, how old were you?
17.
Were you in school?
Yes, sir.
What school did you attend back then?
Edison High School.
Or what year were you? Were you a sophomore, junior, senior?
Junior.
And where were you living back in February of 2022?
The address, correct?
Yes, what address?
823 West Mariposa.
And how long did you live there?
I'm not too sure about how long it was.
Had it been a couple years?
I believe so. Yes, yes.
So I'll get right into it. Jerry, have you ever sold drugs before?
Once before.
What drugs did you sell?
It was marijuana.
Did you ever sell meth?
No, sir.
What about cocaine?
No, sir.
Did you ever sell to kids?
No, sir.
And when I'm talking about kids, what do you think I mean by kids?
I'm assuming, I don't know, 18 and lower. I'm not too sure.
Did you know any of the neighbors that lived around you on Mariposa?
Yes, sir.
Did you know someone by the name of Enrique Bocanegra?
It sounds familiar. Yes, sir.
It would have been the man who passed away due to all this. Did you know him?
Yes, sir.
How well did you know him?
Pretty well.
Would you talk with them often?
Yes, sir.
And you're gonna need to speak up, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
And how often would you interact with Enrique?
Every time he'll walk outside to garden his grass or trim his bushes, which was in front of his house.
And are you aware, Jerry, that it was found that one of the bullets from your gun was the bullet that killed Enrique Bocanegra?
Just recently, yes, sir.
And well, let's go back to February 21st of 2022. Were you in school that day?
Um, I believe so. I believe so.
Well, did you make an arrangement to meet with someone?
Yes, sir.
What was that, or what were you meeting that person for?
To sell marijuana.
And did you know who you were selling to?
No, sir.
Well, how did they get in contact with you?
Through social media.
And would that happen often?
No, sir.
So, in essence, a stranger contacted you for a drug sale.
What was that?
So a stranger contacted you for a drug sale.
Yes, sir.
And did you decide to meet with them?
Yes, sir.
Where did you meet? Or where did you decide to meet with them?
It was at a corner store. Believe the name is Beer King on Blanco Drive.
And how far is this corner store from where you live?
Not too far at all.
And do you remember what time of the day did you decide to meet them at?
Roughly around 2:30-ish, maybe 3.
Did you go to the corner store?
Yes, sir.
Now, Jerry, did you own a firearm at that time?
Yes, I did have firearm. Yes, sir.
Where'd you get the firearm?
I have found it at a park called Kenwood Park.
How long did you have that firearm for?
Roughly, I say a month or 2.
Did you carry it around with you often?
No, sir.
Why'd you decide to carry it today? Or on that day?
Oh, okay. I just felt like I was cool. Just gonna be honest. I thought I was cool owning a gun, so I carried it with me that day.
Now, when you went to the corner store, where did you go?
I placed myself in front of the store.
Why'd you go to the front?
I was right there interacting with one of the homeless guys, and I was just waiting for the other person to come by.
Well, how would you know that you were meeting the right person?
Well, I didn't really know everyone, but I knew just by one guy from the image from on social media.
So you were looking out for the guy that was messaging you.
Yes, sir.
How long were you at that corner store?
Maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
It wasn't long.
No, sir.
Common approach was what's been marked as states 52.
Yes.
What is it?
It's the video that you had shown me and wrote my signature on there saying that you had shown me the video
And what's this a video of?
of the incident that had occurred.
And is this video, is it a fair and accurate depiction of what happened that day?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, state would offer states 52.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, state exhibit number 52 is admitted without objection.
Just for Ortiz, I'm trying to get off the hard drive because the disk would take too long to play.
All right, any objections, defense, to them playing it off the hard drive?
No objection, Your Honor.
Now, Jerry, while you were at the front of the store, did anyone ever call you over?
Yes, the front passenger.
Well, what were they in?
They were in a 4-door green Tahoe.
And did you walk over to the green Tahoe?
Yes, sir.
How close did you get to the green Tahoe?
To the front passenger.
But I'm asking, how close were you to the front passenger?
Really close as like
Well, here, I'll get up and show. So, how close were you? This is, sure, you can stand up, Jerry.
not like this close.
So you're pretty close, about a foot or two away. So when you approach the front passenger, did you talk with him?
I really didn't have any second to talk.
What do you mean by that?
Right as I approached, I just saw everyone point a gun at me. Front window.
Now, what you're saying, everyone pointed a gun at you. How many people were in this car?
5, 6 people maybe.
Did you get a good look at everybody?
Got a good look at the passenger and the driver, and I believe 2 of the other guys in the back that I could recognize.
And you were saying that a lot of guns were pointed at you. What do you mean? What, did everyone have a gun?
Yes, sir.
And you're mentioning this front passenger. Do you see that front passenger here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you point to him and describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Black.
And can you point to him? Let the record reflect that Jerry Ortiz is identifying the defendant, Oscar Martinez. So when you approach this front passenger, does he say anything to you?
Give me everything you got. Give me everything you got.
And did he have anything?
I had marijuana, shoes, and a jacket.
Well, what I'm asking, Jerry, is did the front passenger have anything?
Oh, yes, sir. He had I'm not too familiar with weapons, but it was a long black rifle.
Jerry, is this, I'm showing you with the mark already, it states 39A. Do you recognize this, Jerry?
Looks like the one from the day.
And how did he have this rifle?
Pointing at my chest from the door.
Right here, show me. Would you like to step down and show? You can stand up, Jerry.
Yes, you can step down, but just make sure it's not pointed at anyone.
I won't even bother touching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did he have it, Jerry?
Or you can use this for an example as you say this is a window.
Again, you gotta speak up, Jerry.
Okay,
Just-
so this is a window. Had it sideways.
Like this?
Yes. And I was like this.
Okay, so where was the barrel? Okay. And so the barrel
I'm
was.
sorry, make sure you keep
Sorry,
your voice up so the court reporter can hear.
At me.
So it was pointing at you. Was it resting against anything?
No,
Okay.
just besides the window frame.
Okay. You can have a seat, Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you.
He was pointing that at you,
Yes, sir.
and he says, "Give me all you got.
Give me everything you got. Yes, sir.
Give me everything you got." What did you do?
I did what they asked. They demanded whatever they wanted, and I provided it to them.
And what exactly did you provide to them?
A bag of marijuana, my shoes, and they wanted my jacket as well.
Did they tell you? Did they tell you about the jacket?
The back passenger, I believe it was a guy in the middle seat in the back that wanted the jacket.
And so, had you already started taking off your shoes?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm gonna play states 52. I'm stopping the video at 14:27:01. Do you see your, Jerry, I need you to take a look at this video.
Yes, sir.
Do you see yourself in the video?
Yes, sir.
Where are you?
In the front of the store.
Now I'm stopping the video at 14:27:16. Jerry, do you see the car that you were talking about?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do?
I'm approaching the vehicle.
Jerry, I'm gonna replay this video again. This time I'm gonna zoom in, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm pausing it here at, I believe it is 14:27:45. Now, Jerry, did you just see what you just did in the video?
Yes, sir.
What did you do?
I reached into my pocket.
And what did you do with whatever you had in your pocket?
I had tossed it to the front passenger.
Play the video. Now, Jerry, do you see who got out of that back out of the back of that car?
One of the other guys that were in the vehicle.
Now, what does he have in his hand?
He has a gun on his right hand,
Where is he pointing it?
right at me, coming towards me.
Now, up to this point, you had already given up your shoes.
Yes, sir.
You'd already given up your drugs.
Yes, sir.
And so, what happens after this point?
I was telling him like, no, just leave. Just take it. He kept approaching me.
Now, we hear what happens in this video. We hear what happens after you go off screen. But what happened whenever you went off screen, Jerry?
Me and the fellow guy that hopped out the back passenger were wrestling, fighting each other.
What were you fighting each other for?
He was trying to take the gun that I had on my waist.
And Jerry, did you ever pull out your gun?
Not until he fired at me.
So he pointed his firearm at you and shot at you.
Yes, sir.
And then you pulled out your firearm and shot back.
Yes, sir.
Now, after you shot back, what did you do?
I took cover. I was scared. I heard shooting right back at me. And I took off running
And where did you take cover by?
behind a big green dumpster.
Did you return fire?
Yes, sir.
What were you shooting at?
The vehicle.
And who was shooting at you from the vehicle? Could you see?
No, I did not see. I was just taking cover.
So you decided to run.
Yes, sir.
Where did you run to?
I ran into the alleyway behind the store. I ran a block over. I made all the way to the tracks, the railroad tracks. And I stood there for a while.
Had you ever shot at anyone before, Jerry?
No, sir.
Had anyone ever shot at you?
No, sir.
What did you do with the gun, Jerry?
Before I crossed the street over after the alleyway, I had tossed it to my right hand side into someone's back house. Sorry, the backyard. I don't recall the house that I threw it in, but it's in someone's backyard on my right hand side in the alleyway.
You understand, Jerry, that that's dangerous, right?
Yes, sir.
That someone could have picked it up and someone could have hurt themselves.
Yes, sir.
Where did you go after you crossed the tracks and after you'd waited for a few moments?
I jogged right back up to my house and I jumped my neighbor's yard and went back home.
Now, what did you do when you went back home?
I was scared. I looked out my window and I see the guy there laying down.
Did you tell anyone about what had happened? Were you ever told that the police wanted to speak with you?
What was that?
Were you ever told that the police wanted to speak with you?
I believe it was that same night. I went into the downtown to talk to the detective.
Did you talk to him?
No, I was scared.
Did you answer any of his questions?
No. I talked to him, yes.
But you never told him what happened.
No, sir. No, sir.
Jerry, were you arrested in regards to this case?
Yes, sir.
What were you arrested for?
Charges for capital murder.
Did you have to go to the Bexar County Jail?
Yes, sir.
How long were you in the Bexar County Jail?
I believe 3 months.
Judge, may we approach?
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask that you all step in the jury room just for 10 minutes. There's a matter I need to take up outside your presence. Remember my previous instructions, okay? All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, so this is a hearing outside the presence of the jury. State if you ask your question.
Jerry, did you ever see Oscar Martinez in the Bexar County Jail?
Twice.
And did Oscar Martinez ever threaten you?
He told me that he was gonna get me.
And what did he mean by that?
I'm assuming by hurting me.
And you say Oscar, you know who Oscar Martinez is now, you know his name. correct?
Yes, sir.
But that was after everything had happened.
Yes, sir.
And that was, again, you've seen him once during this incident. You're gonna have to answer yes or no, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
And then you're saying that you saw him 2 other times in the Bear County Jail,
Yes, sir.
and that one of the times Oscar threatened you.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, defense?
No questions.
All right. So, we're off the record. This is what I need to know. What specifically was said? When was this said, allegedly? Those are questions that I need in order to make a ruling on whether or not this is relevant, whether or not it's more probative than prejudicial. So I don't have enough information. The information that's being told to the court now, I'm going to sustain the defense's objection. But if there is something more that anyone wants to give me, I will consider it.
If I may. Jerry, when these threats,
We were getting moved from quarantine into a mod, the dorm. We were right there by where you get your mats for the inmates. And we were right beside each other. That's when. Thank you.
and when did this happen? Do you know roughly when was, so it would have been after you were arrested, but do you know more specifically any time?
Can you please ask it again? I'm sorry.
Do you know specifically when this would have happened?
Like what he told me?
Yes, when he said that.
I think it has to be within a week in there, because it's quarantine. They have you waiting in quarantine for a while until you get moved. And whenever we got moved from quarantine, that's when I had ran into him. And that's when he had told me that he was gonna get me.
And so it would have been about a week after you were arrested.
Yes, sir.
And when were you arrested?
I don't remember the date.
Was this long? Were you arrested a short time after this incident?
Yes,
And what exactly did Oscar say?
that he was gonna get me.
Did he say anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Any questions, defense?
I do, Judge. Mr. Ortiz, you were in a minor pod at the time, correct? Meaning for people who were under the age of 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Oscar was in an adult pod, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how, if you guys are in different pods, how did you see each other?
Because when we're in quarantine, he was on the other side, but within the same mod. We're all in the same mod, but when he was in the other side of the mod, I never spoke to him. But when we got moved from quarantine, sir, we got moved together at the same time, and then they put us in the elevator. They told both of us to look away from each other. We got out of the elevator, we walked where all the inmates' masks were. And that's when he had told me when we saw each other, when we got an encounter.
And did he tell you face to face?
He told me right there, yes, sir.
Okay, and you knew who he was already then?
I remember his face from the incident. I cannot forget it.
Okay, so his identity is not in dispute, correct?
Can you break it down for me so I can understand?
Let me ask you this. Did you, just so we're clear, did you hear his voice or did you see him?
No. He said it personally while we were being transported into a different mod.
Did you ever hear, was there an occasion where you heard a threat through the door?
No, this was him personally.
Are you well aware, sir, that in various jail calls that you made to your parents, to your father, to your mother, you were complaining about somebody threatening you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you not tell your father that those threats were done through the door, that you didn't see who was making the threats, but you heard somebody making threats?
That is not what I had said, sir. No.
Well, it's on jail calls, sir.
I
Were you lying to your father or are you lying now?
am not, sir.
No further questions.
All right, so this is the court's question. Number one, defense, were you given notice of these statements?
Notice of threats, Your Honor?
Notice of his testimony about he was alleged to have been threatened by your client. State that you give the defense notice of that.
It's in the disclosure of,
It's in his actual statement.
it's not in his statement, it's in some of the disclosures that I use.
Okay.
When we talk to him.
I believe so, yes, Judge.
All right.
But my objection here is gonna be, identity is not an issue. This is apparently alleged conduct that happened well after February 21st of 2022, which is the reason why we're here. So therefore, I don't see the necessity to try to bring that in to establish identity. I think that's what Mr. Escobar was talking about.
Are you seeking to use this to try to establish identity?
Well, Judge, it's also the defendant trying to intimidate a witness into not cooperating. In essence, saying, I'm gonna get you for what happened.
Not charged with retaliation. That's not an element for it to be proven in this case.
All right, anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to allow the statement. Court is going to find that it's more probative than prejudicial in defense. The court is noting for the record that you were on notice of the alleged statements of your client. All right, let's bring the jurors back in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. State, you may continue, and you're still under oath.
So Jerry, you were arrested for murder in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you spent time in the Bexar County Jail.
Yes, sir.
And while in the Bexar County Jail, you did encounter Oscar Martinez.
Yes, sir, twice.
And did Oscar ever say anything to you?
That he was gonna get me.
And when did this happen?
When we were getting moved from quarantine into a different cell, it's like a mod in the hallway before we get into the mod. Where all the inmates' beds were.
How long did you spend in the Bexar County Jail?
Roughly 2 months.
Now, Jerry, what ultimately happened to your case?
What do you mean?
How was your case disposed of?
I don't know how to answer that, I'm sorry.
Was your case dismissed by the Bexar County Jail, or by the Bexar County DA's office?
Yes, sir.
Now, there was no agreement in exchange for your testimony, was there?
No, sir.
So you're doing this of your own free will.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to talk to you about who was living at your home at the time. Who was living at your home back on February February of 2021?
It was me, my mother, my sister, and my girlfriend.
And what's your girlfriend's name?
Jalen,
And would Jalen's little brother, would he ever go to your home?
yes, sir.
What's his name?
Harley.
What's his last name?
I can't really pronounce it very well, but Nawa,
Fair, it's a difficult one to pronounce.
yes.
Now, on February 21st of 2022, did you tell Harley where you were going?
No, sir.
Well, did he know you were well, did he know that you were going to a drug deal?
No, sir.
Was he at the home at the time?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been made aware that Harley fired a gun during this incident?
No, sir.
So no one ever told you about Harley's involvement.
No, sir.
Yeah, so you never told Harley to be a lookout during this drug deal.
No, sir.
You never told Harley to have a gun?
No, sir.
Now, I'm gonna show video because you've seen one other additional video. It's a short video, correct? Do you recall speaking with me yesterday and being shown a very short clip?
Oh, yes, yes.
And for purposes of the record, what exhibit is this?
The judge, it's states 51. I'm gonna slow down this video because it's a very short clip. I'm stopping the video a few seconds in. What are we seeing right by that dumpster, Jerry?
Me and the other person fighting.
And what were you fighting over?
I was fighting to make sure he don't take the firearm.
And why were you worried about him taking the firearm?
I thought if he were to take it, that they're gonna just give me to die.
That they were going to shoot you?
Yes, sir.
So we just saw both of you point guns at a gun at one another, point your arms out at one another. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes, sir.
What was he pointing at you?
It was a pistol.
Now, did he shoot in your direction?
Yes.
And did you shoot him?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm pausing the video very quickly. I don't have the time on the player. The time is obscured on the player. But where are you right now, Jerry?
I'm, behind the dumpster.
Is that when you were hiding?
Yes, sir.
And did you fire from that position?
Yes, sir.
Now, Jerry, looking at that surveillance video, it took a while for you to pull out that gun, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't immediately pull it out whenever the backseat passenger got out of the vehicle.
No, sir.
Did you feel that you had to shoot?
I didn't want to do it, but he shot, so I got scared. So I returned fire.
And do you regret having to do that?
Yes, sir.
You wish that you didn't have to?
I wish I could go back in time.
Now, you continued to shoot, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you feel at the time that it was necessary for you to shoot at the car?
Yes, I was scared.
Or were they shooting at you?
I heard gunshots, yes.
And so you thought that you had to.
Yes,
Do you regret shooting at that car? Do you regret killing Enrique Bocanegra?
I regret everything.
Pass the witness.
Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ortiz,
Yes,
to
sir.
establish a few things. You'll agree with me that your bullets from your gun were fired intentionally and knowingly by you. Went across the street, killed an innocent man, your neighbor, 65-year-old Enrique Bocanegra, correct?
I'm sorry, but
Listen to my question, okay? Kind of back up a little bit from the microphone because we're hearing you breathe, okay? Let's keep your voice up. Will you agree with me that the bullets from your gun fired intentionally and knowingly by you? The gun didn't go off accidentally. You intended to pull the trigger, went across the street, killed your elderly neighbor, Enrique Bocanegra, correct?
I didn't mean for that to happen.
Here's my question for you. Did you, was it your bullets that killed Enrique Bocanegra? Yes or no?
Yes,
So no one else is to blame for his death but you? Yes or no?
yes,
So we're in agreement about that, correct? Okay, that day, you were the one who decided to sell marijuana.
yes, sir.
You knew it was illegal to sell marijuana.
Yes, sir.
You chose to take your .40 caliber handgun to this transaction, correct? I need an
Yes,
outline answer.
sorry.
You knew that carrying a gun to a drug sale was dangerous, right?
Yes, sir.
You knew that your gun, a .40 caliber, had bullets, right?
Yes, sir.
And you hid that gun in your waistband using your jacket to cover it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you put yourself in this situation. No one forced you to be there, correct?
Yes, sir.
If you had not taken that gun to the drug deal, Mr. Bocanegra would be alive today, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if you had not taken this gun to the drug deal, Christopher Bahia would be alive today, correct?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Ortiz, you'll agree with me, back in 2022, you're a drug dealer. There's no other way to say it, correct? You were selling drugs.
I'm not a drug dealer.
You're not a drug dealer. Okay, well, you were selling marijuana that day, correct? And you had done it previously, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as a drug dealer, you were engaged in criminal activity at the time, right?
No, sir.
Selling marijuana is a criminal activity, is it not?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, yes.
Thank you. You were arrested on February 23rd, 2022, about 2 days after the shooting occurred, correct?
I bet. Yes,
Okay, and you stayed in jail until May 11th of 2022 when your family was able to finally bond you out,
yes, sir.
okay? And for roughly 6 months until roughly December of 2022, at some point then you had an attorney, Ms. Suzanne Kramer, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Kramer is known for handling death penalty capital murder cases. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and she arranged a meeting for you to meet with the district attorney's office, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you know what prosecutor you met with?
I don't recall the name.
Okay, was it a man or a woman?
It was a man.
Man,
Yes, sir.
okay. What about a woman named Lauren Glasscock, Assistant District Attorney Lauren Glasscock?
Was a woman there?
Hold on, don't
Oh, I'm
ask your
sorry.
attorney, just answer my question if you know.
I believe I do remember a woman and a man in there. Yes.
Yep. I'm gonna show you what's been labeled as Defendant's Exhibit number 3. Ask you if you recognize that document.
Yes, this is the document that I have given on my own free will.
Look at the back page there. Do you see your signature?
Yes, sir.
Got your signature?
Yes, sir.
And this document was made approximately, well, exactly on December 15th of 2022, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that document in case you need to refer to it, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So when you talk to the prosecutors in the district attorney's office, it wasn't these two prosecutors, correct?
No, sir.
Different prosecutors, okay. And you went in with Ms. Kramer and you told them a story, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And let's talk about what you said to the district attorney's office. It was probably besides assistant, do you see on the third page, does it say, the last page, does it say Lauren Glasscock, assistant district attorney?
My reading's not too good. If
Actually, it's not on that document there. Okay. But there's an investigator's signature at the bottom, correct?
below mine, yes, correct.
Yeah. An investigator, Daniel Gonzalez with the DA's office. Sound correct?
Um,
Very bottom of third page.
this.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Does it say Daniel Gonzalez?
It looks like it. Can't really tell by the handwriting, but yes.
Okay. Now, you said you woke up around 2:30 in the afternoon that day, correct?
Yes.
This was a Monday, February 21st, 2022 was a Monday. Why weren't you in school at Edison High School that day?
I was at an alternative school.
You're in an alternative school?
Yes, sir.
Why were you at an alternative school?
I don't remember.
Okay. You don't know why you left Edison High School to an alternative school?
I don't remember why.
All right. Why weren't you at the alternative school on Monday, a school day?
They do early release. You get out of school way before the actual other school districts. So you would leave earlier, but you would get there early in the morning.
Okay, so what time did you leave school that day, the alternative school?
I don't remember.
Roughly noon?
Like 12, maybe 1. I'm not too sure.
And in your statement, you admit that before you woke up from your nap at 2:30, an hour earlier, you had a conversation on Instagram with a direct message about buying weed, correct?
Excuse me?
Did you not have a conversation with somebody on Instagram about buying weed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And by weed, we obviously mean marijuana, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't know how that person got a hold of you because they reached out to you about buying marijuana, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I think you told them they wanted to buy a lot of weed, but you only had 10 grams, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that true? Did you only have 10 grams?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the marijuana that was recovered from the front seat of the green Suburban was actually 20 grams, not 10?
I am not aware of that.
Okay. Did you not weigh your marijuana before you sold it?
No, sir.
Okay. You don't have scales or anything?
No,
Just kind of winged it?
that just gave it away.
So, Mr. Ortiz, you live directly behind the Beer King convenience store, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you went out your front door, correct?
Yes, sir.
You went to the Beer King in the front to wait for, I guess, somebody to contact you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You took your gun with you, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had found a gun where? At Kenwood Park?
Yes, sir.
About how much time before?
Say roughly a month or 2 before then.
In your statement, you say 2 months before. You-
Yeah,
And you thought it was gonna be cool to carry a gun.
I thought it was cool. Yes, but clearly it's not at all.
So you got to the store. And you waited there for about a minute or two easily, correct?
I believe so, or less.
Did you know who was gonna show up, what color car they were gonna show up in, if they were gonna be in a car?
I did not know the car. I just got called over to the vehicle.
Okay. So you go over to the green Suburban, you go up to the window and you said that everybody had guns, correct?
Yes,
Okay, we're gonna break that down a bit. First of all, did you recognize anybody in that car?
no, sir.
Okay, did you eventually recognize somebody in that car?
The driver, yes,
You recognize the driver.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
That driver, we all know now is Joshua Mejia, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how did you recognize the driver?
His picture was on the social media.
The direct message from Instagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you knew you were having a conversation with Joshua Mejia.
Yes, sir.
He was the one saying, I want to buy weed from you. And you're like, well, I got 10 grams. I'll meet you at a certain time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you went up to the window, did Joshua Mejia, the driver, have a gun?
They all had firearms.
Okay, they all had firearms. Is that what your statement is?
Yes, they all had firearms.
And how do you know that?
They were all pointed at me when I got to the front passenger door.
Okay, let's go through a few things. The people in the back seat,
Yes, sir.
there's at least, I think you said there's 5 or 6 people total in the car. We know now that there was only 3 people in the back seat. All right, you're saying all 3 of them had guns?
Yes, sir.
How did you know that?
Because they were pointing it at me, sir.
Okay, if they're pointing guns at you and we're talking about. Yeah, can you see this? Or do you need glasses or anything?
No, I can see perfectly.
Okay. Obviously, this is the passenger side. You're standing right here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if they're in the back seat pointing guns at you, well, all their guns are essentially pointing at Oscar Martinez's head, the front passenger, correct?
No, sir.
How is that?
Because on the side of the passenger seat, they were reaching out like towards the window. Then one of them was like in the middle of the truck.
So are you saying that? You tell me, for the jury here. The guy in the back seat here,
Yes, sir.
okay? Keep your voice
Excuse me,
Yes,
counsel,
sir.
just one second. Just give us one moment.
So, Mr. Ortiz, are you seeing the back seat passenger closest to the passenger door here? He put his gun almost out of the window, the front driver's side window?
It was
How do you explain it?
they were in the back. Oscar was right here. Two of
Sorry,
them-
if you could keep your voice up, please.
I'm sorry. Does this one work?
There you go.
Sorry. They had the guns, so you could see better view. There's a gap in between the seats and the frame.
Okay.
2 of them had the guns right there. The other guy that was in the back had it from the middle console, kind of facing out. Joshua was right here, had a gun facing me. Oscar had a long rifle not out, but the barrel was on the door frame facing my chest.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. With this rifle, which is State's Exhibit 39A, you said that Oscar was had this pointing at your chest, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was it pointing out the window?
He had the front piece on the window frame right here.
Okay.
So it's pointing at my chest.
Do you recall in the video that the glass wasn't all the way rolled down. It was about 2 or 3 inches that was still there.
It would roll down.
And if the video says different,
It would roll down, sir.
if the video says different, is that video incorrect?
I'm not saying that, sir.
Okay, so you said, that Oscar had this, did he have it here on his side? Did he have it in his lap? Did he have it pointed at you?
Pointed just like how you had in slant.
Okay, and being in the passenger seat, there's no other way of doing it. Being in the passenger seat, if the truck windows, you know, here, a little bit lower than where you're at. He'd have to put his right hand on the trigger, kind of hold it like this. Would that be right?
He had it. If you want to use this as an example for the window,
Sure.
you could go ahead and place the top piece right here. And I'm standing
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like this.
Okay,
And they all have their guns facing me.
all right. Now, would it surprise you, Mr. Ortiz, that only 3 guns were ever recovered from the car? And there's 3 people in the back seat. One is the driver. So somebody didn't have a gun. Would that surprise you?
That was,
Okay,
I saw all of them with the firearm.
okay. And that particular gun I showed you, State's Exhibit 39A, I believe the number was, didn't have a clip in it at all.
At the moment, I didn't realize that. I was just scared for my life. I didn't know what to do. I listened to what they wanted. Whatever they wanted, I just gave it up.
You said in your statement that you went up to the window and that Oscar Martinez made the statement, "Give me everything you got."
Yes, sir.
The next sentence in your statement says, everybody said, "Give me everything you got." All of them said it.
He said it. Guy in the back says, "Give me those shoes." So they were all demanding things from me, and I was scared that they were going to shoot me. So I was.
Okay. In your statement, you first say that Oscar said, "Give me everything you got." Your next sentence is, and I'll be very specific with you. Says here, the front seat passenger said, "Give me everything you got." Okay. I was scared of being shot and left to die there. I raised my hands. All of them kept yelling to give me everything I had. So everybody was making the statement, "Give us this, give us that." Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we can see you throw what we would imagine is the marijuana bag into the car,
Yes.
correct? And the guy, you testified already, the guy in the middle back said, you know, take your shoes off or something like that, correct?
It was one of them. Yes. I just heard them saying, "Give me his shoes." So I started taking off my shoes.
Your statement says someone from the back said, let me have those shoes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Oscar Martinez didn't ask for your shoes, correct?
But he demanded me to give everything and all of the rest of them.
Listen to my question. My question is, somebody from the back seat said, let me have those shoes,
Yes, sir.
and you complied.
Yes, sir.
Oscar Martinez did not say, "Let me have those shoes." No. Also, when you're at the window next to the front passenger seat, there was a certain point where they were asking these things and you make a motion to kind of open up your jacket to show that you had a gun as well, correct?
No, they demanded the jacket as well.
Well, hold on a second. Right now, you told us that you had a gun hidden in your waistband and it was covered by your jacket,
Yes, sir.
right? And at a certain point, you open up your jacket a bit to show that you've got a gun too, just so that they know, right?
No,
No, that's not correct.
that is not correct.
Okay, so when did they see your gun?
Right when the guy asked, "Let me get his jacket as well." So I was gonna unzip it and give it to them as well.
Okay, and that's when,
That's when one of them said, give me, sorry, the guy that had got down with the firearm said, give me that too. And he was talking about the firearm.
okay. Now, did Oscar Martinez tell the kid in the back seat to get out?
No, sir.
Did he order him to use his gun on you?
I don't think so.
Oscar did not do anything to cause the kid who got out of the back seat to get out of the SUV. Correct? That's not in your statement.
I don't know.
Okay, do you remember anything about Oscar's telling the kid in the back, hey, go get him, or anything?
No.
No. So as far as you know, the kid who got out on his own, he pulled the gun on him, on you, on his own. That was his idea, correct?
Yes,
And that's the person we know is Christopher Mejia, who got out with the gun in hand,
yes,
okay? So the driver is Joshua Mejia, okay? And he had pointed a gun at you, right?
yes.
Okay. Did you hear? And it's one point you say that the driver, let me find it. Okay, so Christopher Mejia gets out. There's a struggle about the gun. And he's pointing the gun at you. He's trying to get your gun. And you put in your statement that the driver said, just shoot him, right?
Yes, sir. I heard that.
So that would be Joshua Mejia saying, just shoot him.
Mhm.
Did you hear Oscar Martinez say, just shoot him?
No, I did not.
Okay, did you hear Oscar Martinez make any statement about to tell anyone to do anything to you?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Now, you said you took a step back and that it was Christopher Mejia who took a shot at you first and then you shot at him.
He had the gun toward me and I moved it. Then I heard a shot fired and I returned fire.
Okay, now there's no evidence to show that he shot at you first or vice versa. Okay, so we have to go by your word that he's the one who shot first, not you. Correct?
Can you rephrase that?
It's only your good word that he shot at you first versus you shooting at him, right?
I'm not following can you break it down for me, please, a little bit
You
more?
want the jury to believe that Christopher Mejia shot at you first, correct?
I don't want them to believe that. That's what I'm telling y'all.
So in December of 2022, I'm going to show you what's been marked as defense exhibit number 4. Ask you if you recognize that document.
I do not recognize it.
Let me show you the last page. You recognize your signature on defense exhibit number 4.
That is my signature.
Okay, and looking,
What is this?
it's 3 pages. You remember going to the district attorney's office and signing this document in mid-December of 2022?
I don't remember this.
Do you remember going to the district attorney's office in December of 2022?
I'm not really good with dates.
Mr. Ortiz, I'm not asking you to remember an exact date. You're charged with capital murder, killing 2 people, and you don't remember going to the district attorney's office with your attorney and having a whole session, writing out this statement and coming to this agreement?
I do recall this, but
Why is it so difficult to answer my question?
don't really remember this, sir. I'm telling you the truth.
This defendant's exhibit number 4 is a proffer agreement between you and the state of Texas. That's what it says on the title, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And in here, there's an agreement that you will cooperate with the district attorney's office with any type of testimony you give against other people, correct?
Uh, testimony means,
Testimony is what you're doing right now.
yes,
So you agreed to come back to court and testify in court against anybody who was in the green Suburban,
yes,
okay? And you knew that reaching this agreement was gonna be good for you, correct?
I just wanted to release this, that I can't hold it no more. I just need to talk about it.
You just need to talk about it. Let's go back a second. The shooting happens. We saw you take off running, okay? You go into the alley, you start running, you supposedly took off your jacket and left it in the alley, right?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay, was that near the back of your house?
It was, right before I had crossed the street.
Okay, so somewhere near your house, right?
Yes, sir.
Would it surprise you to know the police looked all over that neighborhood, didn't find any jacket at all?
They did not find the jacket.
Did not find a jacket.
I didn't have my jacket. I left it there.
Okay. So you go, you run away down 2 city blocks all the way to the railroad tracks, which is a good distance.
Yes, sir.
Then you jog your way back to your house, jump the fence. We know this because there's surveillance video on your home.
Mm-hmm.
We know you jumped the fence to go back into your home. And then you literally went to the window inside your home and saw the crime scene, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you could see Christopher Mejia dead on the floor. And you saw a bunch of police, you saw ambulances, you saw fire trucks, you saw a huge crowd of people, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who was in your house at that time?
Me, my girlfriend, and her little brother.
Okay, and what did you tell your girlfriend?
Just didn't tell her anything.
Okay, I mean, she must have made some type of, told you something about, there's all these police outside the house.
Yeah,
Did you have any comment about that?
I was just too scared. I couldn't even talk.
Okay,
I was nervous.
okay, did you tell your girlfriend that you were involved in that shooting?
Told her later on down the line, yes.
What's down the line?
I believe the next day.
Next day.
Yes, sir.
So essentially you lied to Jay Lynn, your girlfriend there on that day of the shooting,
Yes, sir.
okay? Her little brother Harley must have been what, 7, 8 years old?
I don't know his age.
Okay. Young kid, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he was seen on surveillance video outside the home, right where the shooting was at, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know?
No.
Let's talk about, once again, as you're going down the alley, as you're running away, you throw the gun, according to you, into somebody's backyard.
Yes, to my right hand side, yes.
Now, you had gone back to the house, you see the crime scene, you see all the police and the firefighters and everything that has gone on. At some point, you took off, correct, from the home?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was the purpose of that?
I was just panicking. I didn't know what to do.
Okay, well, I mean, you were running because you didn't want to be the police to come find you, correct?
I just didn't know what to say or.
My question is, you didn't want the police to find you, right?
No, I just didn't know what to do.
Okay, so later on that night, the police had talked to your parents or your mother, and you went down to the San Antonio Police Department down here on Nueva Street, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you talked to Detective Mark Morales, or a detective, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and you didn't cooperate with him, did you?
I was too scared.
Once again, you're too scared, okay?
I didn't know what to do or say. But yes, I was there in downtown talking to a detective.
and you talked to Detective Morales and you said, I'm Jerry Ortiz. I was there at the Beer King. I was hanging out in front. And otherwise, you didn't give any details about what occurred, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And then you asked Detective to leave,
yes,
and he let you leave, right?
yes, sir.
About the next day or the day after that, you were arrested for capital murder at that point with a warrant,
Yes, sir.
okay? In that 3 months that you were in jail, you never talked to the police again, correct?
Uh, just, the, the cops in the jail, but no one else, no cops from out here.
You never talked to the police about any relevant facts to the shooting, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, and then you started coming to court, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you had Ms. Kramer as your attorney, right?
Yes, yes,
Then you had discussions with her, as you should. And then eventually you went to the DA's office in December, signed this proffer agreement where it basically says you'll testify and it's in your favor to do this, correct?
yes, sir.
And then next month in January, you get a dismissal of your capital murder case, correct?
Yes.
This time, Your Honor, we're going to offer defense exhibit number 4 into evidence and defendant's exhibit number 3.
Any objection?
No objection for defense 4.
All right, defendant's exhibit number 4 is admitted without objection.
Objection to, defense number 3 either.
All right, then defense exhibit number 3 is also admitted without objection.
Now, let's be very clear. When you wrote this statement in defendant's exhibit number 3, you talked with an investigator and a prosecutor. You told them what happened according to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Your lawyer was there with you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then they typed up what you said and asked you to look at defendant's exhibit number 3, your statement, and said, you know, is there anything wrong? Is there anything corrections need to be made, correct?
Yes,
In fact, there was one correction where you said the passenger window was open all the way and you signed your initials for that change, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you knew you had to blame the individuals in the green Suburban, right? And get the heat off of you, correct?
Excuse me?
It's December of 2023. You're at the district attorney's office. You've been charged with capital murder. You know it was to your benefit to blame everyone else in the green Suburban versus to get the heat off of you, the blame off of you, correct? What part don't you understand?
I don't know really how to answer that question.
You knew when you went to the district attorney's office that you were trying to make your criminal case much better for yourself, correct?
Oh,
You were trying to get a good resolution.
Well, no, I'm gonna object. He was gonna answer, Judge.
All right, you can answer the question.
no,
So why were you going to the district attorney's office? To help them prosecute you?
I'm sorry. I don't really understand. Can you just use like smaller words for me, please?
Now, the police searched your home later that night of the shooting, found a .40 caliber handgun there, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that belongs to what's your mother's name?
Sandy.
Cynthia Hernandez?
Yes.
So that was your mother's gun, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was that the .40 caliber handgun that you used during the shooting?
No.
It wasn't? Okay. And that handgun, why'd you get rid of it in the first place when you threw it into somebody's backyard?
know what to do with it. And I was just panicking. I didn't want it. It just, at that moment, I didn't know what to do.
Did you think it would be a bad idea if the police found you and you had a 40 caliber handgun on you? Did
Yeah,
you think that would be a bad idea for you?
yes,
Yeah, so you wanted to get rid of the evidence, correct?
I'm not trying to get rid of it. I was just, I didn't want it. I just didn't want it.
In your statement, let's go back to being there at the passenger window, okay?
Yes, sir.
You stated that the driver had a pistol, correct?
Yes, sir.
That everybody in the back seat had pistols,
Yes, sir.
and that they pulled the top part back, making a clicking sound on their guns, meaning they were loading the guns, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you'll agree with me that all of them were pointing their guns very close to Oscar Martinez's head, right?
Besides him, yes.
And when you told this story, I mean, your statement made in December is roughly 10 months after the shooting occurred, correct?
Think so, yes.
Roughly. Okay. And you hadn't talked to anybody else before then and given any statement to anyone else before December of 2023?
No. No.
You never saw, after Christopher Mejia gets out of the car, out of the Suburban, you never saw Oscar Martinez fire any weapons at you, correct?
I don't know, cause I just took cover and I just heard shooting, so I didn't want to peek or
Sure.
expose myself.
Here's my question. You did not see Oscar Martinez fire a gun at you, correct?
Like I said, I didn't know I was behind cover.
So the answer is no, you didn't, you don't know if Oscar Martinez fired a gun.
Yes, I don't know.
Thank you. You never heard Oscar Martinez tell the juveniles in the back seat to get out and get you, right?
No,
Okay. You never heard Oscar Martinez tell anyone to fire their guns at you.
not that I'm aware of, no.
If you were aware of, you would have put it in your statement, right?
I would have, yes, if I had that information, yes.
And you didn't know what discussions happened in the green Suburban right before they drove up, right? Because you weren't in the green Suburban.
No, sir, I don't know what their plans were, intentions were.
Where's your cell phone from that day? I'm assuming you were doing the Instagram on your cell phone, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you turn that cell phone over to the police?
No, sir.
Okay, why not?
My mom had a phone.
Okay, so in December, did you have the phone to turn over to the DA's office or to the SAPD?
No, sir.
You didn't have the phone.
No, sir.
Where did the phone go?
My mom had it.
Okay, did anybody ask your mother for the phone?
No, sir.
Nobody asked for it.
No, sir.
So we can't confirm exactly what happened in that Instagram post without your phone, right?
And we had the video and it shows what had happened.
I'm talking about the Instagram messaging.
Oh, no.
You know, the person who you agreed to sell marijuana to was Joshua Mejia, the driver, right?
Yes, I recognize him from
Okay.
the picture, yes.
You recognize him from his Instagram profile, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Didn't talk to the police at the scene, we know that. The police came for you, you were gone at your home, you took off. Eventually you went to talk to the detective downtown, but you didn't give any information. All right. And you know that when you went to the district attorney's office and did this proffer agreement, that anything is better than a capital murder
I'm gonna
charge.
object to, counsel just testifying. What question?
That'll be sustained.
Well, essentially, you needed to blame everyone else except yourself, correct?
I'm not trying to point fingers, I'm not trying to point fingers.
Do you understand that in this deal, was it explained to you, if you remember, if you mess up this deal, that you could face charges of perjury or charges of obstruction of justice or charges of making a false statement or false declaration? Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand those are misdemeanors punishable up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail?
I did not know them, and how I did.
Okay, so if you're lying to this jury here, the worst thing the DA's office can do to you is give you up to 1 year in jail. You understand that?
Now I do, yes, sir.
And would you agree with me that 1 year in the Bexar County Jail is a lot better than capital murder charges, correct?
Yes. I don't get where you're going with this question.
Let me tell you, no matter how you cut it, you were dealing drugs that day. Marijuana is a drug, okay? It's illegal. All right, you chose to sell those drugs that day when you weren't at alternative school. All right. And let's make sure we can agree on some of this. You chose to take your 40 caliber handgun to this transaction, right? We know that. Okay. There's no doubt at all that you shot and killed Christopher Mejia, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way that Oscar Martinez killed Christopher Mejia?
I don't know. No,
Well, you know you killed Christopher Mejia.
no, sir.
You don't know that?
No, I answered your question.
Okay. And there's no doubt at all that you shot, after the first time you shot at Christopher Mejia, you shot at least another 10 times, according to your statement, bullets in that direction, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we know, once again, this is a convenience store, right? Here's the dumpster. I don't know if you can see that.
I see.
Enrique Bocanegra's house is across the street. All right. We know that all the bullets that were fired near the dumpster going this way were your bullets, right? There's no way in the world that any bullets that came from anyone in this car went this way, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All the bullets from here would have gone this way into the convenience store or towards you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's no doubt at all that Oscar Martinez did not kill Enrique Bocanegra, correct?
Correct.
So, Mr. Ortiz, we know that you killed 2 people, which you were charged with capital murder for, okay? Capital murder can be up to the death penalty when you kill 2 people, all right? And you ultimately, in January of 2023, walked away a free man by blaming everybody else for your actions, correct?
I'm not blaming no one.
Well, you are. You're blaming the people in the green Suburban, correct? Is that correct?
I'm not blaming no one.
Okay. You went to this drug transaction yourself, correct?
Yes,
It was a
sir.
voluntary action on your part.
And I'm gonna object to asked and answered.
Sustained.
So in the end, you got away with murder, right?
I'm gonna objection that calls for a legal conclusion.
All right, sustained.
You killed two people and you have no further charges against you, correct? It's not a hard question.
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
State.
I'm gonna take defense exhibit 4. So I'm gonna read straight from them. Paragraph 4. And you just read along and say whether or not I'm reading it correctly, okay? Defendant is not being offered transactional immunity from prosecution for the aforementioned criminal episode. Is that correct? Did I read it correctly?
Yes, sir.
So, do you know what that means?
Really, my vocabulary is not too good.
Again, I'll just cut it down. Defendant is not being offered immunity from prosecution. So we didn't. Doesn't that sound like to you like we didn't offer to drop the charges in exchange for your testimony? Is that correct? Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
You would agree that it was a bit of a mischaracterization there. Gary, how familiar are you with your holidays?
Not
Do you know when Christmas is?
No.
What about Valentine's Day? Or would it surprise you that February 21st of 2022, that was President's Day?
I didn't even know that.
Now,
I'm not even good with my months. I don't even know the order. I'm being real with you.
well, were you aware that that's a federal holiday? So you wouldn't have had school, correct?
Yeah, yes. I don't know. Yes.
And it's okay if you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Now, you testified repeatedly that Oscar was the first person from that car to say anything to you.
Yes.
What did he say?
Give me everything you got.
And you testified with defense that the others in the car said the same thing.
Yes.
So they were all saying the same thing together.
Yes.
And they all had guns that pointed at you together.
Yes.
And you're saying Oscar had this gun, right?
Yes, sir.
He had it pointed at you.
Yes. For my chest. Yes.
Does this look real?
That's the real.
And how long were you looking at this?
At that moment, just like a split second, I was just paying attention to what they wanted.
And you had never had a gun pointed at you, had you?
No, sir.
So you were panicking.
Yes, I was nervous.
And so to you, it looked real.
Yes, sir.
It still does now.
Yes, sir.
So I'm showing you what's the contents of State's Exhibit number 40. Now, this is a handgun, right?
Yes, sir.
And so that clicking sound you heard, was it what I just did?
Yes.
Does that make sense that you would have heard that?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with guns, Jerry?
Not really.
Are you familiar that this is what's called putting one in the chamber?
Well, now, yeah.
And you're saying all of the people in that car were pointing guns at you, including Oscar.
Yes, sir.
So they were acting together. Were they?
Yes, sir.
And they all made the same demands.
Yes.
And would you have shot your gun if no one had pointed a gun at you?
No, sir. I would have let them take whatever they wanted.
And we saw in the video, you didn't pull your gun immediately. Did you? You didn't try and rob them, did you?
No, sir.
Did you point the gun at them and say, give me everything you have?
No, sir. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do.
And so you agree, Oscar didn't pull the trigger of the gun that killed Enrique Bocanegra, right?
No, sir.
But Oscar was the first person in that car to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Oscar was the first person to point a gun at you.
But they all did it at the same time.
So they all acted together.
Yes, at the same time.
Were you there to sell your shoes, Jerry?
No.
Why'd you end up taking them off?
Someone in the back wanted them.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 26. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
What's in this photo?
My pairs of shoes.
So these are your shoes.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 27. Do you recognize what's in them?
My shoes.
Would it surprise you, Jerry, that these shoes were found in that Tahoe?
That does not surprise me.
So your shoes ended up in the vehicle that was involved in this case.
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Ortiz,
Yes, sir.
in the video, we can see when you went up to that passenger window, you were there for a couple of seconds before you make a motion to throw in a bag of marijuana. What was the conversation that was being had for those couple of seconds?
I was frozen at that moment. They already had the guns on me. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to run. I thought I was gonna get shot. So when they asked me for everything, I was just stuck there.
Who was everybody asking you for everything?
Oscar was the first one. Then they all just did it together and they're like, give me this and give me that. Then, yeah,
You gave this statement to the district attorney's office. It was 10 months after things had occurred, correct?
basically, yes.
And when you gave that statement, it seems like you have a little bit of trouble understanding questions here and there, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And isn't it very possible that somebody, well, there were multiple people in the car. There's 5 people in the car. Isn't it possible that you got the detail wrong of Oscar telling you first that give me everything you got and then everybody else said that as well?
they
Or
all
did you
said,
just incorporate that in your mind?
no. They all said it. He said it, then they all said it, then they all slipped their guns to the back. And then that's when, you know,
Mhm. So when there's a delay of a couple of seconds before you throw the marijuana inside the Suburban, that conversation is what? I mean, they're saying right away, give me everything you got,
yes, and I'm not good at that moment.
and you're just frozen there? You don't move for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds?
I didn't know what to do.
They're telling you what to do, right?
You're demanding it, but I was scared.
Because the guy in the back seat is saying, give me everything you got, at least all of them are, right?
Everyone,
Okay, and then the guy in the back seat's like, give us your shoes, right? That wasn't Oscar Martinez, it was the guy in the
the
back.
guy in the back that wanted the shoes, yes.
And the driver, he was pointing his gun at you and he was saying, give me whatever.
They all said yes, sir.
And you said everybody had weapons, right?
Yes, sir.
And yet only 3 weapons were recovered. 3 actual firearms were recovered. So there was a 4th person that didn't have a weapon. So are you sure when you tell this jury, every single person had something that looked like a firearm in their hands pointed at you? Are you telling your jury that's correct?
Yes, sir.
When the police didn't find up to 5 weapons, they found 3 that were actual firearms and 1 that was that toy rifle. There's a missing weapon. How do you account for that?
Well, I was just scared.
You weren't scared.
I'm trying to just give them all the information and everything that they ask for, I'm giving and providing.
And that's right. And you, when you're scared, you might not remember everything perfectly, right?
There's a possibility, yes, there is a chance for that, yes.
Yes. So there might have been one person who didn't have a weapon pointed at you, correct?
I remember a lot of it space,
A lot of weapons is fine,
yes.
but can you testify to this jury that every single person had a weapon pointed at you?
I just saw barrels.
Okay? So not necessarily everybody had a weapon, but mostly everybody had a weapon.
Yes, I guess, yes,
Because it's a confusing situation, right?
yes,
At the time, your heart is racing. You might not get every detail correct, right?
sir.
That it took 10 months later for you to give this statement. Are you telling this jury that this statement is completely accurate? There's no way that anything could be wrong here.
I did my best for everything, to remember everything.
When you gave this statement in December of 2023, mid-December, and signed this proffer agreement, which is Defendants Exhibits 3 and 4, 2 weeks later, you walked out of the courthouse with your capital murder charges dismissed. I'd call that a sweetheart deal, wouldn't I?
I'm gonna object. That's calls for speculation.
Sustained.
You walked away with capital murder charges dismissed 2 weeks after you signed these documents, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness.
Were you defending yourself on that day?
Yes, sir.
Ask the witness.
Mr. Ortiz, you're a drug dealer at the time making a transaction for illegal marijuana. You set it up, you took your 40 caliber gun with
Object
you.
to testimony.
All right, let me finish hearing the question.
You took your 40 caliber gun, you know you're doing an illegal act, and now you want this jury to believe that you deserve the benefit of self-defense?
Was just defending myself.
I can't hear you.
I was just defending myself.
Do you think drug dealers should be able to defend themselves?
I'm not saying that.
Pass the witness.
Nothing from the state.
All right, is this witness excused?
I'm gonna keep him on call, Your Honor.
All right, you're subject to recall. Make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you. You may step down.
Me?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you all a break. And I'll have Deputy Laura come get you when we're ready to bring you back, okay? Remember my previous instructions. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. We need to take up the presence of the jury. So we'll take up this hearing and then I'll give you a break. Are you okay with that? All right, is the next witness you're all calling Mr. Porter's client?
It wasn't gonna be the next witness, Judge, but I know that he said what he said earlier.
Yes.
I'm going to inform the court, it's got text from Bob, went out, and talked to him, and he was going to testify now.
Right, so he will testify now?
Yes, I just, now, I haven't talked to him in the last 3 minutes, but 5 minutes ago, he should.
All right, so State, are you calling Mr. Porter's witness?
Martinez is testifying. File. I want to make sure.
And Mr. Porter, you can sit next to your client.
Push it again. Okay.
Where is the state?
I don't know, Judge.
Ms. Kramer,
Move from a directed
could you do
verdict.
me a favor? Could you tell the state we're ready?
Sure.
Thank you. I think they're just outside.
Come on, Mike, it's your turn to babysit.
Just like to. Yeah.
All right, we're ready.
All rights for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
State calls Jeremy Martinez.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up for members of the jury and for the court reporters. Ladies and gentlemen, his attorney is Robert Porter, and that is the person to his left. State, you may proceed.
Jeremy, make sure to speak into the microphone and speak clearly, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, and if you'll state your name for the record.
Jeremy Martinez,
All right, state.
How old are you, Jeremy?
15,
Back in 2022, how old were you?
13,
Who are your brothers?
uh, Christopher Mejia, Juan Mejia, and Joshua Mejia.
Do you have any other brothers?
Yes, sir.
Who are they?
Alex Mejia, Jonathan Mejia, Baby Mejia.
Are you the youngest brother?
Yes, sir.
Back in 2022, how old was Christopher?
14,
What about Juan?
14 or 15.
What about Joshua?
17?
Now, did you all live together?
Yes, sir.
And do you know someone by the name of Oscar Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Do you see Oscar here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point to him and identify him by an article of clothing?
Wearing a black jacket and a white shirt.
And just make sure you point towards him. Let the record reflect that the witness has identified Oscar Martinez. And you're good, Jeremy. Thank you. So, Jeremy, I'm going to take you back to February 21st of 2022. Now, were you friends with Oscar Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Well, was he your friend or was he your brother's friend?
All of us.
And can you repeat that? Speaking of
All of us.
Thank you. And how did you meet Oscar?
I don't remember.
Had you known Oscar for a long time before February 21st of 2022?
Yeah.
Your Honor, at this point, I can't hear the witness. He needs to get to the closer to the
All
microphone.
right, you need to speak up so that all parties
Hello?
can hear you. All
We can hear you, but make sure you speak into the microphone, okay? So, how long had you known Oscar?
I don't remember. But we known him for a little minute.
What?
I don't remember.
We known him for a little long time.
Now, did you hang out with Oscar a lot?
I didn't.
Who hung out with Oscar?
My brothers,
Would they let you hang out?
no,
Do you know why?
no,
And did you do any drugs with Oscar?
no,
Now, on February 21st of 2022, was Oscar at your home?
yes,
Did he stay the night?
yes.
How often did Oscar do that?
Mm, whenever he wanted.
Did you do it a lot?
Yeah,
And on that day, did Oscar tell you and your brothers anything?
no,
Did he ever mention wanting to go see someone?
no.
Did he ever say he wanted to go meet with someone?
I don't remember.
Did he ever say whether or not he wanted to buy drugs from someone?
I don't remember.
Did you and your brothers ever go somewhere with Oscar?
Yeah,
Now, do you remember where was everyone sitting in the car? Well, let me backtrack. What type of car were you guys in?
green suburban.
Who was the driver?
Y'all from here.
Who was the passenger?
Oscar Martinez
Where were you sitting?
in the back,
Where in the back?
in the middle.
Now, you're sitting in the middle. Who's to your right?
Which way? This way, this way.
So the right.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What did you say?
This way, this way.
Okay.
Sure. And here, Your Honor, may I do that to me? Here's a model of a Suburban. Now, you said you were sitting in the middle.
Yes, sir.
And remember, speak up. with me.
Yes, sir.
Who is sitting here?
Christopher from here.
And then that would be the back passenger, right?
Yes, sir.
And then who is sitting to your left?
My brother Juan.
So is your brother Juan?
Oh, yes.
Now, did you know where you were going?
I don't remember. Oh, do I know?
Did you know?
No,
Did anyone tell you?
no,
Did Oscar ever mention what you were going to do when you got there?
no.
Did he mention that he was going to meet with somebody?
Yeah,
Well, who was he supposed to meet up with?
some person.
Did you know their name?
No,
Why was he going to meet up with this person?
buy weed.
Now, you said Oscar said to buy weed.
No, yeah,
So which one is it?
to buy weed.
Now, is that all Oscar said?
Yes,
So when you went there, did Oscar ever say anything else about going?
Object to leading at this point, Your Honor.
Sustained.
What else did Oscar say about meeting this person?
I don't remember.
Now, do you remember, were there any guns in the car when you went to go meet this person?
I didn't see none.
But did you later find out that there were guns in the car?
Yes,
Now, do you remember, was it a convenience store that you were going to?
yes,
And did you ever meet with someone?
I didn't.
Did someone ever approach the car you were all in?
Yes,
And where did they go when they approached the car?
passenger window,
Front or back?
front,
And when they went there, who was talking to him?
Oscar,
Now, I said him. Did you remember, was this person that you guys met a man or a woman?
a man.
And what did Oscar say to this person?
I don't remember.
Did Oscar ever pull a firearm?
Yes,
Now, do you remember what type of firearm he pulled?
no,
Now, once Oscar pulled out this firearm, did he say anything?
I don't remember.
Did anyone ever ask this person for the shoes they were wearing?
Yes,
Who asked?
Oscar,
And did Oscar take the shoes from this person?
no.
What happened?
He gave him up.
So the person gave the shoes to Oscar.
Yeah,
Did anyone ever get out of your car?
yes,
Who got out?
Christopher.
Now, did you know that Christopher had a gun when he got out?
No.
But did you find that out later?
Yes.
After Christopher got out of the car, what happened?
Shots got let off.
Did you see who was shooting?
No.
Did you ever see whether Oscar was shooting?
Yeah, he was. But I heard him coming from the passenger side because my head was down.
So did you ever see Oscar shoot?
No.
I'm sorry, hear the last answer?
Could you repeat the last answer?
What?
Did you repeat the answer that you just gave?
Oh, that I heard him from the passenger side, but my head was down.
So did you see Oscar shoot?
Yes.
So earlier you said that your head was down and you didn't see.
Yeah, but before I put my head down, I seen him.
So you did see him.
Yeah.
Now, did you keep your head down the entire time?
Yes.
When did you get out of the car?
After I stopped hearing gunshots,
What did you do when you got out of the car?
I went to Chris.
And how was your brother at that time?
What do you mean?
Was he moving?
No.
Were you worried?
Yes.
Did you try and help Chris?
Yes.
How did you try and help him?
I took my shirt off and put it on his face where the blood was coming from.
Now, you get out of the vehicle. Did anyone else get out of that vehicle?
I don't remember.
Did you ever see anyone back in that vehicle? Did anyone get back in that car?
I don't remember seeing anybody get out.
So you don't remember seeing anyone get out.
After I got out, no.
So when you went back to that vehicle, or what was Oscar doing after the shooting?
He was in the passenger side,
Front or back?
front.
What was he? A judge.
Yes.
May I be excused for the restroom?
Sure. All right, everyone, we're going to take a brief break. Remember my instructions. Thank you.
Rise for the
Did you or your brothers ever try and leave? What about Oscar?
Yes.
What did he do?
Hop in the back at the driver's seat saying, let's go.
Why didn't you leave with Oscar?
Cause my brother was on the floor.
So did Oscar try to leave after that?
Wait, what do you mean?
After you guys said no, did you
Oh.
try and leave?
No,
What was Oscar doing?
he got out the car.
Now, did you ever see any of the guns that were in that car
When?
after the shooting?
Yes,
Who had the guns?
Oscar.
Now, did anyone ever try and take the guns away from the car?
What?
Did anyone grab the guns
Oh,
and take them away from the car?
I don't remember.
Did you do that?
No,
Did Oscar?
no,
What about Josh?
no.
Chris was on the ground.
Yes.
So who else was in that car?
Juan,
Did Juan ever take the guns away from the car?
think so. Yes.
And can you repeat that?
Yes, I think so.
Did Oscar ever ask you to get rid of the guns?
Yes.
And you didn't do it?
No.
Pass a witness.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Martinez, I'm gonna show you what's been pre-marked as defendant's exhibit number 6. So the drawing of the Suburban. All right. Earlier you testified that Joshua was in the front seat, driver.
Yes.
Oscar Martinez is in the passenger seat.
Yes.
You're in the middle in the back, Jeremy, that's you.
Yes.
Christopher was to your right.
Yes.
How old was Christopher at the time?
14.
And your brother Juan was to your left, correct?
Yeah.
How old was Juan at the time?
15.
15? And you were 13?
Yes.
And how old was Christopher? I'm sorry?
14.
14. All right. So does that fairly and accurately depict where everybody was seated in the green Suburban?
Yeah.
This time, Your Honor, we're going to offer defendant's exhibit number 6 into evidence, tender to the state for any objection.
No objection.
All right, defense exhibit number 6 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish to the jury.
Granted.
This way the jury doesn't have to memorize where everybody's at. Now, when the shooting happened, you were placed into cuffs by the police, correct?
Yes.
You were taken to juvenile, correct?
Yes.
You were charged with capital murder.
Yes.
How long were you in juvenile?
6 to 8 months.
And what ultimately happened to your case?
It got dismissed.
Got dismissed.
Yes.
And you have an attorney here today, Mr. Porter. Was he the attorney on your juvenile?
No.
Okay. You remember who that attorney was?
Yes.
Who was it?
Monica Guerrero.
Okay. So this account, the story that you're giving to the jury here, the first time anybody's heard about it since, I guess yesterday was the first time you came forward, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You talked to these prosecutors over here yesterday?
Yes.
And you had Mr. Porter with you, correct?
Yes.
Now, Joshua, Juan, Christopher, they're all your brothers, right?
Yes.
Okay, you have no relation to Oscar, correct?
No.
And on the day of the shooting, you were at your home, right?
Yes.
And the prosecutor asked you what happened that morning there at your home. Do you remember what happened?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember, okay? Do you recall telling your attorney and the prosecutors that there was some type of discussion about Oscar saying we should rob this guy? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Now you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. And when that happened, What did you say about that?
I wasn't around, but I heard.
What do you mean you heard?
I heard it. He said it out loud. I heard it. But I was by it, but I wasn't in their conversation.
Okay, so you heard Oscar say that? That's what you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay, and then what did your brother say about that?
I don't remember.
Well, you told the prosecutors yesterday that you said and your brother said, no, we're not gonna rob a guy, right?
Yeah.
Why can't you remember what you told the prosecutors yesterday?
I just don't remember.
You also told the prosecutors that in this this morning meeting, that somehow Oscar said, okay, let's just get the pot from Jerry. I guess whoever's selling the marijuana, correct?
Yes,
Okay. But you don't remember that today.
I do. Since you brought it up, now I do.
Well, how do you not remember it from 10 minutes ago when the prosecutor was asking you?
Because I just don't remember, but I remember now because you brought it up.
So you got into that green Suburban belongs to your mother, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and the driver was Joshua.
yes.
You remember what you were doing on the way over to the convenience store that day of the shooting?
No,
You remember what you all were doing inside the green Suburban as you drove from your home to go eventually buy this marijuana?
no, I don't remember.
You have no idea. Do you have any memory of the drive from your house to Mariposa and Blanco?
No,
You remember Oscar being on his phone?
I don't remember.
Yesterday, you told the prosecutors you think Oscar was texting on his phone to the guy who was gonna buy the marijuana.
Yeah, when we was there.
Yesterday, you told the prosecutors on the way there, Oscar was on the phone texting, you think, to the guy who was gonna sell the marijuana.
No, I don't
Is that correct?
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, you told the prosecutors that yesterday.
I don't remember telling them.
So you're taking back, Oscar was not texting the drug dealer guy.
Not where we were going, but when we got there, yeah.
Okay, so when you got there at Mariposa and Blanco, that's when Oscar was texting?
Yeah,
And how do you know who he was texting?
because he was kept looking up.
So you know who he was texting by looking up?
Yeah, he kept looking at that person's direction.
Okay, and did you know what was gonna happen when you got to Mariposa and Blanco?
No,
You had no idea.
no,
Okay, do you know why you were going to Mariposa and Blanco?
no, I just went for the ride.
Okay, and did you make any inquiry to anybody in the car going, why are we going, where are we going?
No, I was on my phone.
You're just going for a ride.
Yeah,
Okay. Were you in school that day?
no,
Why not?
I think it was a holiday.
And you told the prosecutors yesterday, and you told this jury today, you didn't know anybody had a gun in that car.
Right,
And you want the jury to believe that.
yeah,
You know ultimately how many weapons were in that car or anything that looked like a weapon?
No.
You don't have any idea.
no,
Sir, there were 3 firearms in the green Suburban. Then there was a black toy gun or toy rifle, I should say. You don't remember that.
no,
You have no memory of that.
no,
Were you on drugs at the time? Were you
No.
taking drugs?
no,
Were you sick?
no,
How do you not remember?
because it was a long time ago, 2 years ago.
So the day that your brother died,
Oh, I remember that.
you don't remember the details of what happened.
No,
You said that Oscar pulled a gun. What kind of gun was it?
I think a black gun.
Sorry?
A black gun.
A black gun. What kind of gun? A handgun?
Yeah,
It was a handgun.
yeah,
Are you sure of that?
yes.
Okay, and a handgun looks like a handgun, right? Was it a Glock? Was it a,
I don't remember.
you don't remember exactly what kind it was?
Pistol, yeah,
It was a pistol. Are you sure of that?
yes,
So when you tell this jury that Oscar had a pistol in his hand, you're very confident of that.
yes, I was there.
Okay, 100%, you know
I
that.
was there.
And then, did you see your brother Joshua, the driver, have a gun?
No,
You never saw him have a gun.
no,
Okay, did you ever see your brother shoot a gun in the car or outside the Suburban? Inside the Suburban or outside the Suburban?
no,
All right, where's your brother Joshua right now?
jail,
Do you know exactly where in jail?
no. How am I gonna know?
Okay, well, I mean, do you know if his case was resolved?
I don't know. What
Did he
that
get
means.
sentenced?
Yes,
Okay, and do you know what his sentence was?
yes,
It was for prison time, right?
yeah.
Okay. If your brother didn't shoot a gun, why would he be in prison?
Is someone saying another story?
So somebody's lying about your brother Joshua?
Yes,
Okay. You said that Jerry was shooting up the car. Jerry, you didn't know the person who we now know as Jerry Ortiz, right?
yeah.
You did not know him.
No, I didn't know him.
Okay. So he was shooting up the car and you put your head down and just stayed back there, right?
Yes,
Okay. But yet you know that Oscar was shooting a pistol.
yes.
Was he shooting the pistol from inside the car or outside?
I'm inside the car.
From inside, he was shooting pistol.
Yeah,
You know, when a pistol gets fired, there's a casing that comes out.
yes.
Okay. Do you know how guns work?
No, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Okay. I mean, you've seen at least TV and movies. You know that with a pistol, a casing will come out.
Yeah,
Okay. Would it surprise you that there were no casings on Oscar's part of the vehicle?
because he took him out.
Because he took them out.
Yep,
What does that mean?
he took the shells out.
Oh, when did he do that?
When I got out the car, and then I went back to the car. That's what he was doing,
Uh-huh. What was Oscar doing?
taking the shells out the car,
What part of the car?
the passenger side.
So he was taking the time to take the shells out. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay. And what was he doing with the shells?
I think throwing them on the floor.
On the floor.
Yes,
Uh-huh. And why do you think he was doing that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
No,
Okay. And then you also stated you said that Oscar asked for the shoes, right?
yeah,
Okay. And did anybody from the back seat, either Christopher, you, or Juan, ask for the shoes?
no,
So nobody in the back seat asked for the shoes.
no,
Okay. Would it surprise you if Jerry Ortiz says you, Jeremy Martinez, asked for the shoes specifically?
no. I didn't do. I ain't asked for no shoes.
Okay. What did you say? Did you join in and say, hey, Jerry's at the window? You pulled up, Jerry's at the window. You say Oscar pulled out his gun, a pistol. Did anybody in the back seat say, hey, give us all your stuff or something like that?
No,
Okay. Did Joshua, the driver, say, give us all your stuff?
no, I don't remember.
Well, do you remember or?
No,
So did Joshua, your brother, in the driver's seat say, give us your stuff?
no,
And your brother Joshua never pointed a gun?
no.
Did he have a gun?
I don't know.
Did you see him have a gun?
No,
Did Christopher have a gun?
no, I didn't see.
You didn't see him have a 40 caliber Glock.
No,
You had no idea.
no,
What about Juan? Did he have a gun?
no,
So nobody in the backseat had a gun
No.
that you knew of?
no. I didn't know.
Okay. And what about, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 39A. You recognize this?
Yes,
How do you know this?
because it was in the trunk.
It was in the very back of the Suburban?
Yes.
Was it ever in the front of the vehicle?
No,
Was it ever in the back seat of the vehicle with you, Christopher, or Juan?
no.
So that weapon was found in the back of the Suburban.
Yeah, in the trunk.
Are you sure of that?
Yeah, that's where I seen it at.
Okay, and when did you see that weapon in the back of the Suburban?
Where he left.
Before you left, okay? And you said that your brother Christopher got out. When did you realize he had a gun?
I never realized. Yeah, I just heard. I never realized he had a gun.
Okay, you saw that Christopher got out of the Suburban, right?
Yes.
Okay, and were you holding the door for him?
No, I don't remember. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You were sitting next to him, right?
Yes.
And if we look at the video, will we see your face just as soon as Christopher comes out of that back passenger side?
You said, will you see my face?
Yeah, will we see your face?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think we'll see your face getting close to almost moving out of the vehicle?
No.
You said you don't remember anybody getting out of the car besides Christopher.
Yeah.
And then Oscar's picking up shell casings and throwing them out. Okay. And did Oscar ever, eventually there were guns found, correct?
Yeah.
And did you see Oscar pick up those guns?
Yes.
And how many guns did he pick up?
3.
3. And what happened? When he picked them up, what happened?
He tried to give them to me and I said no. And then he just threw them on the back seat.
He threw them on the back seat? Okay. And where did those guns go?
I don't know. I went back to Chris.
Okay. And did you know that your brother Juan went and put those guns in a blue recycle bin?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know that? You didn't see that?
I seen it, but I didn't know he did it.
What do you mean you saw it?
But I didn't know he threw guns in there.
How do you know there were guns in the blue recycle bin?
'Cause y'all were telling me.
But you didn't see Juan put them in the recycle bin?
No.
Did you see Oscar on his phone there at the scene?
Yes.
Did you see him almost about to vomit?
No.
You didn't see that?
No.
Do you know who Oscar was talking to on the phone?
Yeah.
Who?
His mom.
His mom? Okay. And how did you know that?
'Cause I think he said he was gonna call her.
Let's go back to, I don't know, I remember if I had a good answer from you. You said you thought Oscar was texting the drug dealer, and you know that because you kept looking up.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other reason a person can text and look up at the same time and not be texting a drug dealer?
I mean, they're both looking at the same way. I'm guessing they're texting each other. They're looking at each other.
Okay, was Joshua looking?
No, I don't remember. I don't think so.
What do you think Joshua was doing when you guys were there at the convenience store area?
I don't know.
Was Oscar telling Joshua where to go?
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
That's the first time we've ever heard of that. So now that's a pretty important detail that you didn't tell the prosecutors or your attorney, correct?
They never asked.
Mm-hmm. You don't think that's important to tell them?
You know,
I can't hear you.
they
Speak up.
didn't ask me.
They didn't ask you. When you were there at the scene, you were put in handcuffs by the police, right? They were detaining you.
Yes.
Did you have anything on you that the police found?
I don't remember.
You don't remember them pulling out a bag of marijuana or weed out of your pocket?
No,
You don't remember that.
no,
You remember talking to an officer De Leon who searched you and pulled out a bag of weed out of your pocket?
no, I don't remember.
So what you're telling this jury essentially is Oscar came up with a plan to rob a drug dealer guy or whatever he had. You, Christopher, Juan, and Joshua were in disagreement with that plan, correct?
Yeah,
And you and your brothers didn't want to participate in that plan, right?
yeah.
You and your brothers didn't have guns on you.
Not that I know. I didn't have a gun.
Eventually, did you know any of your brothers to have a gun on them?
No,
Now that it's 2.5 years later, do you know that Christopher had a gun on him?
yeah,
And how do you know that? Because we're telling you?
yeah,
Okay. Did you see your brother get shot in the face?
yes,
And did you see your brother struggling with Jerry Ortiz have a gun in his hand?
yes.
30 seconds ago, you told me you never saw or knew that Christopher had a gun.
No.
Which one is it?
What?
Did your brother have a gun that you saw?
No, I seen them fighting over a gun, but I didn't know it was his. They both had their hands on it.
Tell us that. What did you see when they were struggling over a gun?
Both of their hands on the gun, and they were fighting over it.
Okay, did your brother Christopher have two hands on the drug dealer's gun?
Uh,
Did he have one hand on the drug dealer's gun?
I don't know. I don't
Did-
remember.
You just told us a second ago, you did see eventually
Yeah,
that
they're
Christopher,
both hands,
listen to
bro.
my question. Eventually you saw that Christopher had a gun in his hand.
Yeah,
Okay, so we can agree that Christopher had a gun,
yes,
okay? And you want this jury to believe though that your brother, Joshua, the driver, never had a gun,
yeah,
never fired a gun.
yes,
Is that correct?
yes,
And if there's evidence that, not only video evidence, but there's physical evidence and testimony that your brother fired his weapon multiple times, your brother Joshua, the driver, fired a weapon, are you disagreeing with that?
yes.
Pass the witness.
Nothing from the state.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Subject to recall, Your Honor.
All right, just make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you.
Oh,
I'm sorry, yes?
Judge, I do have some additional questions for him, very briefly.
All right,
May I proceed?
yes.
I'm going to show you Mr. Martinez, defendant's exhibit number 5. You recognize your signature on that document?
Yeah,
You signed that document yesterday.
yeah,
There's other signatures there from your attorney, correct?
yeah,
And your mother.
yeah.
And what is, and you understand what this is. What is this?
No.
Okay,
I know it's something.
looking at the top, does that refresh your memory?
I don't know.
It says immunity agreement.
Oh, hmm.
So you signed this document
Yeah.
yesterday. We're gonna offer defendant's exhibit number 5, tender to the state for any.
No
objection.
objections.
All right, defense exhibit number 5 is admitted without objection.
Mr. Martinez, you signed an immunity agreement yesterday with the district attorney's office to testify, correct?
Yeah,
And do you know what immunity means in
No.
general? Meaning you not gonna get into trouble if you testify?
oh, yeah,
You recall that?
yeah,
Okay. And you're 15 years old right now?
yeah,
And if you were to mess up on your immunity agreement, most you're facing is a misdemeanor as a juvenile. Do you understand that?
yes,
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
State.
Judge, free for redirect. When was that agreement reached? When did you sign that?
Yesterday,
When's the first time you talked to anyone from the DA's office?
yesterday,
You've never talked before that point,
no,
and your case got dismissed even though you weren't gonna talk here.
my case got dismissed even though I wasn't gonna talk again.
I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying.
Did your case get dismissed
Oh, yes,
without an agreement to testify?
yeah,
Do you want to testify? Yes or no?
no.
Can you explain,
Yes,
can you explain to me what's a snitch? Is
somebody that tells on another person,
that a good or bad thing?
bad thing.
Do you want to be a snitch?
No.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Martinez, did you want to help your brother Joshua, who's in prison, with his case by telling that Oscar's the real bad person and you and your brothers are the innocent ones? Did you come forward to tell your story in Joshua's case?
What do you mean?
Did you offer to talk to anybody associated with Joshua, your brother who was in jail and eventually he's going to prison? Did you offer to come forward with this wonderful information that says your brother's innocent of the charges? It's Oscar who's the mastermind here.
You're saying, did I talk to him?
Yeah, did you talk to him? Did you talk to any lawyers or anybody?
No,
Did you talk to your mother about this case in the past 2.5 years?
no,
You didn't talk to your mother at all about the circumstances of this shooting.
no.
Your brother, Christopher Mejia, is dead on February 21st, 2022. And you're telling this jury you didn't talk to your mother about anything about the shooting?
No,
No further questions.
So your brother took responsibility for his role?
who?
Joshua,
What do you mean?
you took a deal, correct?
I guess, yeah.
Nothing from the state.
I'm sorry, Mr. Martinez. A little while ago, you told this jury your brother's innocent, right?
Yeah.
But yet he took a deal. Right?
Yeah, I signed that, yeah. You took it down.
Pass the witness.
Nothing from the state.
Nothing
right.
further, Judge.
Is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Subject to recall, Your Honor.
All right. What that means is that you need to make sure that you're available if either party wishes to recall you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may step down. Can I see the state and the defense, please? Ladies and gentlemen, both parties, at least the state is going to call one further witness. My understanding is that this should be a short witness, and that's what both parties are informing me of. All right, state, call your next witness.
State calls Cynthia Bocanegra, Your Honor.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury and the court reporter can hear. All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
My name is Cynthia Bocanegra.
All right, state.
Ms. Bocanegra, can you tell the jury what was your father's name
Enrique Bocanegra,
and where did he live when he was alive?
818 West Mariposa.
I'm going to show you what I've just marked as State's Exhibit 53. Can you tell me what that is? Is that a picture of your father?
Yes.
And is that a picture of your father after he passed away?
Yes.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 53.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, State's Exhibit number 53 is admitted without objection.
That's the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ms. Bocanegra, I don't have any questions for you. You have my deepest condolences.
All right. You may step down. This witness excused.
Excuse, yes, Your Honor.
Here, she is, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to take our recess for today. We're going to come back tomorrow at 9:15, and we're off the record. So this is what's going to end up happening on Friday. There are usually jurors are not called up, so there should be parking space available for you. But I would still say, if you arrive by 8:45, you're probably 100% guaranteed a space. If you arrive by 9, maybe it's about 90% chance, but there'll be less people in the parking garage. Remember my previous instructions. You are not allowed to start thinking about this case now as far as deliberating internally with yourself or each other. You're not allowed to talk to anyone about this case. You're not allowed to do any research. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside this courtroom and nowhere else. Does everyone understand? If you were to see anything on any type of media, just turn it off. And again, if anybody asks you questions, you can always tell them that you're serving on a jury, but that's it. Don't go into any more detail. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow at 9:15. Again, you'll just meet in the jury room. And then when I give you all your lunch break tomorrow, it would probably be best for you to get your parking validated at that time during lunch break. And don't worry, I'll put some extra time into your lunch break, so getting your parking validated won't take away from your lunch break. Does anyone have any questions before I release you?
No.
All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.